Welcome back to another episode, trying to rev you up for a Duke of Ed hike. Now, one of the things that we often do is need to navigate through the bush. As time's gone on, I've noticed more and more people are just following tracks. And so that makes it a little bit easier. Often the tracks, like the Great North Walk, for example, it's labelled all the way, and you'd actually have to be a monkey to get lost, I think. You'd have to work hard at it. However, it's still good to be able to read a map. Now, most of the time, you'll probably learn as you go. And that's where I've learnt most of my lessons, but it's good to know some of the real basics before you go out. So I want to just show you some of those little basic things. Firstly, I have a compass here. Now, this is my compass that I've used for years and years and years. Pretty stock standard, pretty straightforward. Some basic things are, you'll notice that, well, there's an arrow right there. That arrow should always face the direction I want to go or the thing I'm looking at, okay? In the middle here, you'll see there's a needle. And the needle actually moves depending on the direction of north. So it's a bit hard to see this at the moment, but if I do this, you can sort of see how, as I move the compass around, the needle keeps pointing in the same direction, always indicating where the red needle points, that direction is north. Okay, so that's important to understand in the use of this compass. So I want to get that direction right. The arrow, remember, that's there. I had it that way before. Doesn't matter which way I have it. That I want to be the direction I'm facing, whereas the needle is going to tell me where north is. Now you'll notice here there's a needle. When I actually put this down, the needle goes and points to north. As I move it around, you'll know, hopefully you can sort of see, the needle is still there pointing to north. Okay, so even as I move this around, my needle keeps pointing to north. In the middle here, you'll notice there's another arrow, this red arrow here. Let's call that the shed. Okay, that's the arrow that I need to use. So if I want to go perfectly north, what I actually do is I line it up with north, right? And then I need to get what's called red thread in the shed. Let's pretend the needle is red thread. It's not in the shed at the moment, but if I twist it around just ever so slightly, okay, there you can see red thread is hopefully in the shed. So if I want to go north, I go in that direction, out that way, okay. It might be a bit hard to see on this, but as you can see, red thread is now in the shed. Sometimes I want to go in different directions, and so I might have a bearing of saying, I want to go 20 degrees or 40 degrees. So I push this, I've got it here currently at north. Let me just try and show you. If I want to go at 40 degrees, I just shift it around so that line lines up with 40 degrees. Okay, so now I want to go at 40 degrees. Which way do I go? Which way do I point this? Well, again, I put red thread into the shed. Okay, so red thread's now in the shed, as you can see. Okay, hopefully you can see I've got red thread in the shed now. Okay, and so that tells me I need to go more that way. Okay, this may not line up with which way you're facing at the moment, it's just the way I'm recording it. But it's getting red thread in the shed is the key. If I wanted to go south, okay, or even if I wanted to go, let's go 160 degrees. So I've now set that. You can see, hopefully that's it. I'll hold it up the right way for you. 160 degrees, all right. So now I need to get red thread in the shed, okay, red thread's in the shed, and it's actually telling me go that way. So that makes it really easy to use a compass in that way. You've got nice straight lines along the side to use for measuring things and all sorts of things. But there's some real basics on a compass and how to get your bearing right at the very least. Now you might hopefully be using this with some sort of map. Here's a map that I just picked up. Pretty straightforward. Sorry about the reflection. It's not exactly easy to see this at this point, is it? This is an older map. It's got lots of streets or lots of green on it as well, and various areas. It goes down around the Cox's River down here and things like that. You may want to orientate your map. Well, what I do to orientate my map so that I'm facing the right direction is I get my compass, I put it back up to right on north. Okay, you can see that's right on north now. I get red thread in the shed, and then I make sure on my map, okay, with red thread in the shed, okay, that is now facing north. Okay, so I can bring that up flat and know that my map is now orientated to face north. If I want to head in a certain bearing or check a mountain out or something like that, I can use my map to do that sort of thing. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this here because I think it's important for you to learn how to do this in practice and get out there and experience it. On the back of the map is all the key to all the important areas that you might need. Sorry, that was the right way around. Okay, use your key for various things. Make sure you get your magnetic to grid in the right direction. But that's pretty straightforward. As I say, you'll learn that out in the bush. That's probably the best place to look at it, because then you can check out your contour lines, how everything's sloping. One key that might help is to remember each of these boxes that you can sort of see. So if I show you this top box up here, if I get the map right, okay, see how there's like a box that goes from there to there to there and to there. Okay, that's about 1 kilometre square. Alright, that helps a little bit as well, just to working out your distances. Most maps around Sydney, Blue Mountains area, you're probably looking at 10-metre contour intervals. So I hope that helps you just a tiny bit with maps. That's a pretty short video, I know. As I say, you'll learn it out there. So I hope you've been revved up a little bit for a bit of navigation work. Take care and have a great day. This has been another presentation, Revving Up Duke of Ed by Jeremy Clark.